So a little bit about Hip Shake. I mean, a lot of you guys follow us. We're so grateful to have you. We're an on-demand dance workout studio. But one of the things I really love is that we have such a supportive and inclusive community of women. And every member here is every member and follower, everyone who likes our posts, you guys are such a bright star in my life. So I'm really, really grateful for that. I talked a little bit about the 28-day total body challenge and positive self-talk. And now we have Diane Newmark. Yay! So she's our instructor for Blissful Barre. And what Blissful Barre is, she starts every workout with a positive affirmation. And I really, really love that. And then at the same time, we also will... at the same time, we're going to we do some bar moves, which is basically a combination of ballet, Pilates, and, all that fun stuff. So Diane, do you wanna and did I mention she's my dear friend, positive light to my life. So thank you so much for being here, Diane.
Thank you, Charlene. I'm so happy to be here. Technical difficulties and all.
So Diane, do you want to start us off with a positive intention or, a little exercise?
You bet. So everyone take a moment and just focus in. Close your eyes. Feel your shoulders roll up and down your back and take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you let it out, take your time. Envision a release of any negative energy. Take a deep breath in and envision positive energy coming into your body, filling you from head to toe with love and light. Stay there for one moment. Think about gratitude, something you are grateful for. Take a moment and breathe in that gratitude. Let it fill you with happiness and certainty that you have the power in you to find it anytime you need to. Now breathe out, exhale. And if you want to share, please go ahead and type that gratitude below. If you don't want to share and you want to keep it inside, that's okay too. It's all good. And I want you to know that you always have that inside you, that intention of goodness, of gratitude, and you can pull on it anytime you need it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Diane. Really, really, one of the things I really enjoy is starting a workout with positive intention. I feel like it makes me feel better afterwards. So I really appreciate that. So Diane, you have a really good health journey that I would love people to know about. Could you tell us a little bit about your health journey, how you got started with barre?
You bet. Absolutely. So it's a long story, so stay with me. But after working in television for 17 years, I needed a mental health break, or hiatus as we call it. And my son at the time was just a baby, and I was traveling way too much, spending too much time on airplanes. And I remember very vividly going to Joplin, Missouri, and we were interviewing one of 7 families who had lost their homes and much more in the tornado. And there was a young mom whose child was literally ripped from her arms. And it just broke my heart. And I knew that I needed to make a change, that my priorities needed to shift. And I wanted to be more with my family. But I had created this wonderful show that I'd been on for 10 years called Extreme Makeover Home Edition. And it was a really hard show to leave. So I didn't get to. And then my health took a back seat and I became pregnant with my daughter. And finally, the show was canceled. And, I was sad, but I was also okay with it. It felt like almost a blessing for me because I was able to take that hiatus that I wanted to. And so I had my daughter and then I was home with her and I did have this moment of, oh my gosh, I've gotten everything that I want, but I'm not feeling happy. And I took a look in the mirror and I didn't recognize the person. And I was actually about 40 pounds heavier than I am right now. And I wasn't feeling a lot of energy and I wasn't feeling a lot of inspiration and I didn't know what to do. But I thought in my mind, well, I've got to go back to work. And I did a ton of consulting. But every time, you know, the project would go through and I would be asked to travel, I just kept saying no. And I one day just pulled my daughter into the stroller and was walking her around. And I walked past this little shop that had a sign on the door that said bar. And I walked right past it and I stopped. I backed up. I turned my head and I walked in and I said, "What's bar?" And I started taking. And it started as 2 days a week and then turned into 3 days a week and then 4 days a week and then 5 days a week. And then literally 2.5, almost 3 years later, they asked me to teach. And at first I said, no, I don't think so. And then I said, well, maybe. And then they asked me again and I said, okay, what does it take? And like a bolt of lightning, I knew that that was my calling, was to focus in, to focus on my health. And I don't look back. You know, I really feel like I'm my happiest, healthiest self, and I owe it all to Barre.
Oh, that's such a good story. And we're so grateful you didn't look back because we wouldn't have Blissful Barre.
Thanks, Charlie.
Really, really, that's such a heartwarming story, and I think a lot of women go through kind of that part of those kinds of struggle in their life, whether it's after they have kids or maybe they're going through certain things, they're in a job they don't want, whatever it is. But it's definitely something that it's interesting that you kind of fell onto what you love. It's almost like the universe was telling you, okay, this is where we want you to be. So that's
yes, that's very true indeed.
Cool. So in Blissful Barre class in Hip Shake Fitness, one of the things I really love is that you start everything with a positive affirmation. Can you just tell us how do you do that? Like, how do you come up with this, or how does that work?
Well, you know, affirmations are positive statements that can help you to challenge yourself, overcome self-sabotage and negative thoughts. And when you repeat them, they have an effect not just on your physical, but on your mental and your emotional. And so really it's goal setting that speaks to the soul. And with Barre, you know, sometimes it's just so darn hard to get through a class, one more talk, gosh, that you need something inside to focus on to pull your strength. And so the idea that you can set your intention at the very beginning of class kind of brings that metaphysical yoga Barre together. And so for me, the way that I find the mantras is I really work on trying to find commonality between, you know, what we need inside to get us through and to create that mantra that applies. A lot of it is energy. You need energy to do Barre. And so to build your energy and to focus in and then to let it out, that's how we get our higher being and our power from within. It's a lot of mind over matter, true. So for my first guru, and you know, if you want to take out a journal or a pen and paper, feel free to. You don't have to, but if it's helpful with takeaways, I want to just cite a wonderful woman by the name of Louise Hayes. And she was the first person who inspired me with a book called How to Heal Your Own Body. And to think about that for a moment, that by creating a healthy outlook on our emotional well-being, we can actually help ourselves to work through any physical pain that we have. Now, we all have it. We all get stuck, but to work through it, to figure out what it is and to move on, that is the key. And so when I'm teaching Blissful Barre, I want to organically create a flow of energy that can lift our consciousness to help us get through these really, really, really tough moves. And then at the end of class, you know, you pull your inner strength and you actually become a better person, more in touch with the person that you want to be through the mantra. And by making you better, it means you treat yourself better. By treating yourself better, it means that you take care of others better, your families, your friends, your pets, our neighbors, our communities. and the world. So take that for a moment. By doing barre, you're actually making the world a better place. Just saying.
I love that. I think that's one of the things that a lot of our members, or a lot of people at Hip Shake, and a lot of our members or followers talk about taking time to love yourself and taking time to really focus on your own health, your nutrition, whether it's working out, eating good, and making yourself a priority. And by doing that, helping others or being better at talking to others. I know when I'm in a bad mood, like don't talk to me. I can't be seen outside. So that's great. That's really great. So for you personally, like, what we talk about positive self-talk a lot, but what does that mean to you personally?
Well, I'm sort of a person who sees the glass as half full as opposed to half empty. But there is a lot of research now about our brains. Our brains are such a complicated, necessary organism, right? But you can actually, by thinking positively, switch your brain into a positive mode, and that makes you a happier person. And if you can continue to do that over time, you will be happier and healthier. Your brain will be happier and healthier. And so by finding that path for yourself, I mean, it really is a long-term goal, the mindful movement of being in the present, the ability to see things differently. And that's not to say the world is ever going to be perfect, because let's be honest, that's not going to happen. But the world has a way of teaching us these lessons, if we allow it to. I'll give you an example, and this is really personal. My daughter was diagnosed with absent seizures, which is something in the epilepsy family. And, we've struggled a lot trying to figure out what that means and how to help her. And we finally have her on the right medication. But I just found out yesterday that she likely has a learning disability and is having trouble reading. And so my first gut reaction was, oh my gosh, how am I going to help her? And it started to take me down that road of feeling extremely helpless about it. And then this morning when I woke up, I thought, you know what, I've got to get into the right mindset about this. And so I took a moment and I meditated and I focused and I closed my eyes and I thought, I have the tools to help her. I just need to find them. And then I opened my eyes and I said it again. I have the tools to help her. I just need to find them. And I knew who to call. And I immediately called a friend of mine who's a pediatrician and talked to her about it. And she was able to help me figure out what kind of doctor now I need to talk to get a better diagnosis as to what her learning disability is. And then when I went to teach my barre class this morning, one of the clients said, oh, I have this problem as well, and gave me the name of a specialist in Long Beach who can work with the dyslexia and help her try to reprogram how she sees things. And so suddenly, by clicking the right way of your brain, instead of focusing on the downside, you start to talk yourself into finding solutions. And by creating this way of looking at the world, it's not going to stop all the problems in the world, but it's going to take you down the right path. And that's the goal.
Oh my gosh, that is, well, first, I'm sorry to hear. Thank you for sharing. I know when it comes to health issues, it's really hard to accept first and then at the same time to share. So we really, really appreciate you for doing that. And that is such a good example. And actually, since we've been doing the chat, I've been doing challenge and chanting my mantra to myself. It has really helped me personally be in a better space. And it's really hard to explain, but it's just, having that kind of message for yourself puts me in a better space too. And so that I hear you. I know, like, for me personally, we were going through just PCOS stuff and fertility stuff, so that it's, you know, I need my mantra. It really helps me go through that. But one thing,
Totally.
Diane, that I think you're really good at and is making mantras. And so I think you told me you have certain techniques of how you come up or create positive affirmations. So could you share that so that people watching can create their own as well, or at least get some guidelines?
You bet. So the first thing I do, this is sort of like Mantra 101, is a gratitude journal. And there are actually studies coming out of UC Davis that say that if you start the day with a gratitude journal, if you write it down, maybe one thing, maybe three things, maybe four things that you are grateful for, it puts your brain in the right track to a happier, healthier day. So let's do this. Let's do the exercise. Close your eyes and think about the item that you're grateful for. Maybe the most. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your children. Maybe it's your beautiful home. I mean, you're probably thinking about all the things now, and it starts to build like a building block. And take that gratitude and write it down. Write down all the people that you're grateful for. Write down a list of activities you are proud of. And think about how important that is to you. And that can be your first mantra. I am grateful for this life that I am living. I mean, that's so simple, but that is Mantra 101. And then you can take it from there. And I want everyone to close their eyes for one moment. And here are some mantras. Do any of these apply to you? I am capable. I know who I am, and I am enough. I choose to be present in all that I do. I choose to think thoughts that serve me well. Oh, let's stop on that for a second. Our brains, we are nitpickers. Somehow we're made that way, right? But what do you do when you're trying so hard to be positive and you get bushwhacked with a negative thought? You can either acknowledge it, send it away, and move on, or unfortunately go down that rabbit hole. And so when you think about your thoughts and your ability to redirect them, it's just like having a small child when they're doing something naughty. You have to redirect them in the right direction. And that is so key to humanity. And so close your eyes. I'm going to give you a couple more simple self-fulfilling affirmations. We're in the fitness world right now. Let's go there. My body is a vehicle in life. I choose to fill it with goodness. And when you exercise, you're doing exactly that. You are filling your life with goodness. And there's also study that the huge connection between the physical, the mental, and the emotional. You can take care of your physical first. You have control over that. Sometimes we don't have control over the mental and the emotional. So just start with one thing that you can do and be proud of yourself. I often give the mantra of, I am proud of where I am in life. And all the mistakes that have been made in the past that get you to where you are right now, that's the key. So stay there, stay in that positive track, and you will actually start to feel your energy lift.
I love that. Thank you so much, Diane. And I'm gonna throw you in for a little loop. Not part of our original script, but I wanted to take this gratefulness and this energy that we're creating in this live stream and just make it, you know, a little personal. So I was wondering, you'll join me. I was hoping you'd join me. I'm gonna say 3 things I'm grateful for, and then I'm gonna ask you to say 3 things you're grateful for, and then I would love for everyone watching, just let's keep this gratefulness train going. If you can write, if you're willing to share, please write down with 1 to 3 things that you're grateful for in the comments. So I'll go ahead and get started. I'm really grateful for my health. Some of you know, some of you don't know, but we've been going through just the fertility journey in the last few years, and it's been really strenuous. But I'm grateful that I'm able to move, to dance, and just do things that I love. And I know I have my 10 fingers, my 10 toes, and I can move. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful for my family, my sister Anne, and my husband Todd, and my mom, my dad, and for all their support in everything that I do. And just like not just making sure that if I dream something, it's like there you go, do it. Just never, just really putting me up. And then I'm really grateful for the community here at Shake Fitness. Is something that sort of happened organically, but you girls really make my life and make my day. So that's what I'm grateful for. Your turn, Diane.
That's good. That's a lot. That's a great way to get started. I will say two things that I'm grateful for always are music and dance, because no matter where I've been in life, it always is an energy for me. And, I can listen to music and it takes me to a different place. So, I am very grateful for Spotify. No, I'm really grateful for music. And then for dance, I've never felt so alive as when I'm dancing, and I feel like it's a gift. When I was younger in life, that was my sport. I wasn't athletic at all. I couldn't throw a football. Wish I could, but I can't, but I always felt that I could dance. And then as I got older, I started choreographing, and I would even choreograph for a circus when I was 18 years old, which is really fun. And then I had to leave dance behind to go into television, and I really missed it. And I felt like I was turning into a workaholic. So I'll tell you a funny story. So I got a tattoo, and I won't tell you where, but it is a Tasmanian devil in a tutu, pouting.
No way.
And it's my inner child. It's my inner child telling me to stop taking life so seriously and to make sure to have fun, because life is short. We all know that. I will say the third thing, as I digress, the third thing that I am super grateful for is Hip Shake Fitness, because it came to me through the wonderful Charlene, who is such a love and a light, and such pure joy comes from it, not just for me as a teacher, but for, I think, all of the members in our group. And, the idea that, you can dance every single day of your life, and it can help you get healthier. Like, that is so cool. And it's really wonderful what you and Anne, sisters, have been able to set up together, even in a short time. We're only 2 years old, but I'm really grateful for the ability on a global scale to have such a wonderful group coming together who are all about positive. So here we go, self-talk right here. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I'm grateful for you.
Thank you. And we're excited to read. Everyone who's watching, we're excited to read. I know. Irene's like, stop crying, Cha. I'm such a crier. I'm sorry. I'm a crybaby. Okay. Holding myself together. Pulling myself together, but everyone who's here, if I'm excited to read your texts and your messages about faithfulness, but I do want to close it down. And what I'd love to hear from you, Diane, is could you talk about people that inspire you? Where do you, people who you draw this positivity from?
Oh, you had to ask that question. I think that was the one that I didn't answer when we prepared, right? Okay, I will say that I get inspired every day from people, because I love people and people just amaze me. And I really feed off of that energy. And, I think with community, like, that is the key, that, if you become more positive, then you attract more positive people, and that grows, that positivity. And that's a really cool thing, not only to be a part of, but to know that you can actually change the world through it. So I am inspired by that. I'm inspired by writers who write much better than I do. But, you know, I said before, Louise Hayes is an inspiration to me. And I first learned about her when I was in college. So that I've taken a very long time. I'm also extremely inspired by do-gooders, people who, you know, do good for the world and don't want something out of it. It's not about ego. It's about doing the right thing and making a difference. And, you know, I do a lot of charity work with foster care accounts, which is a wonderful charity that a friend of mine runs. And I think foster families are the most amazing people in the world, because you take in someone, it may not be for a long period of time, but you positively affect their life. And that's inspirational to me. My fitness gurus, now that's a totally different story. My fitness guru is Jane Fonda, 80 years old, Academy Award winner, still looks very hot.
Oh my God, she's amazing.
I will meet her someday. I will figure out a way. I'm a stalker. No, I will figure out a way to meet her somehow. I just did a class with Body by Simone de La Rue. She's pretty darn cool too. She's super positive. So she's one of my fitness gurus, and I'm inspired certainly by people who can take fitness and take it to the next level. And there you go. What about you, Charlene?
Man, my mom, she worked the whole time. She still works, but it's just inspiring to have somebody who does, you know, takes care of us, but at the same time works on her own happiness and also her own career. So that she really inspires me. And yeah,
I have one more. I forgot to mention, and that's my grandmother.
Oh,
thank you for saying a family member. She is 94 years old, and she's the most like me of anybody in my family. And she's a child of the Depression. She married my grandfather at 19 while my grandfather was getting ready to be shipped off to World War II. They got married. They went on their honeymoon. He went to boot camp. She was pregnant. They had my mom. And even though they were super poor, they lived in an attic apartment with, you know, no air conditioning, no heat, no money, no dolls, no nothing. They remained the most positive family, and that's all my grandmother's heart and soul. So I really aspire to that kind of positivity.
Oh, it's so awesome to have women who are in our family that we look up to. I think we're really lucky to have that. So Diane, you had an exercise, like an ending exercise that I thought would be really cool. So I think it would be awesome to just end with that. If you
yes,
take it away.
So, do we have to end? It's so much fun. I'm just kidding. There'll be more. Don't worry. I wanted to end the session with a list of mantras and to just get us to that positive energy space. So one more time, if you will, do me the privilege of closing your eyes, of relaxing your hands, maybe on your legs. If you're sitting in a chair, feel your feet on the ground. Feel your eyes close. Feel your breath start to flow from head to toe. Start to feel yourself as you breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I want you to think about these important ideas as you breathe in. I am the architect of my life. I build its foundation and choose its contents. Breathe in. Today, I am brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. Breathe in. Today, my body is healthy. My mind is brilliant. My soul is tranquil. Inhale. I am superior to negative thoughts and low actions. Inhale. I have been given endless talents, which I begin to utilize today. And finally, inhale. I forgive those who have harmed me in my past. and peacefully detach from them. Breathe in and feel the strength of your being. Put your hand on your heart. Breathe in and feel all the goodness that you have. And exhale, let it out and share it with the world. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much, Diane. Thank you for this amazing live stream. Thank you, everyone who's watching. We love you, and we hope we were able to give you some positivity in your life. Bye. Till the next one. For more dance workouts, subscribe to our channel or watch the next video. But if you want to join our online dance studio, click here.